Hello, this is Tim Stevens, and this is my instructional design interview, the final project, Project 6 for IDT 7060. And the lesson that I am teaching for this final lesson is for a 4th grade social studies class. I've titled this lesson Presidential Trends in Tennessee. And it will ask the question, how has Tennessee voted in the United States presidential election during the last 48 years? To learn more about how the U.S. votes for president, the students will determine how people have voted in Tennessee, analyze which party, Republican or Democrat, pulled in the majority of votes, and discuss how many electoral votes Tennessee is worth. To understand more about the role the 50 states play in the election, the students will research online information about the Electoral College and begin to discuss how this process works. The final project will be to create a spreadsheet, hopefully a very well-designed spreadsheet, to present the information that their group finds. The students will then complete a think sheet to reflect on their work. And I will show you the think sheet in one moment. This lesson will attempt to address the lack of knowledge most of the students face when it comes to voting and the role states play within the Electoral College. The target audience is a 4th grade social studies class in which there are 24 students, 14 boys and 10 girls. We will also have an inclusion class that has a special education teacher and a teacher's aide. More than 90% of the class has been born in the United States and lived here their entire lives. The rest have moved to America within the last 5 years. The learners are mostly basic achievers with a few high-achieving students. Most of the students are average, and there are several who are below average. The below-average students receive instructional modifications, and close to 60% of the class did not meet the state standards in reading and math on the state benchmark exam. There are 3 students, all boys, who have emotional issues regarding anger management that will be monitored closely. The setting will be in a computer lab, and I will have the students working together in groups of 4 using 2 computers per group. The students will peer review and process information gathered through research. The students try to work together well as a group and make sure they each bring something productive and important to the group. This will be in a computer lab, and we will be using the computer along with some software and a textbook. This lesson applies to Tennessee Content Standard 4.0. Governance establishes structures of power and authority in order to provide order and stability. Civic requirements are that the students understand rights and responsibilities, ethical behavior, and the role citizens play within their community, nation, and world. The goals and the objectives for this lesson. At the end of this lesson, students will be able to give examples of the research data and voting patterns for presidential elections in Tennessee, and in Bloom's taxonomy level, that is comprehension. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to organize the election data, and that is application in Bloom's taxonomy level. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to describe how the 2-party system works, which is knowledge. And at the end of the lesson, students will be able to analyze the data information for prior elections since 1968, and that is analysis. The details of the lesson plans are as follows. The teacher will introduce the lesson, give a problem statement of presidential trends in Tennessee and how the voting system works in regards to the Electoral College. Students will review in their textbook past elections, mainly concerning the one of 1860. The teacher will begin the lesson reviewing the election of 1860 with a signed reading from the book, and then discuss with students the election of 1860. The teacher will help guide the students to understand how elections worked back in 1860 versus how they work today. The students will tell the teacher all that they know about politics and elections and draw upon any experience they may have in their family. The teacher introduces the project by showing the class a spreadsheet and discussing how the students will produce their own spreadsheet. The teacher will put the class into groups of 4 with the inclusion class spread out among the groups. The students will each have 2 computers for each group so that 2 students can study and research on the internet, and 2 such students can gather the information by writing it down to enter into the spreadsheet later. The teacher will walk around the class answering questions, help guide the students while maintaining a helpful learning environment and proper classroom behavior. The students will be given time to produce the spreadsheet and appropriate clip art and present this project to the entire class. The teacher will use an appropriate rubric to analyze each group's project. Each group member will receive the same score as the entire group. The students will research past elections since 1964, study how the two-party system works, collect data to be processed into a spreadsheet at a later time. The students will work together with the group to understand statistical data, and the students in groups of 4 will use the spreadsheet to analyze which party won, the percentage of votes won, and how many electoral votes the state of Tennessee awarded. The outcomes and assessment, I will use a rubric and it will go from 1 to 4 on a scale of 1 to 4, with 1 beginning, 2 developing, 3 accomplished, and 4 exemplary. If they are beginning, that means the student shows little knowledge about voting patterns and how the two-party system works. They provide wrong information. They have many spelling or grammatical errors, or their spreadsheet clip art isn't accurate or in order. Developing, student shows some knowledge about voting patterns and how the two-party system works. Student provides few incorrect information, minimal spelling errors, and the spreadsheet clip art isn't clear and accurate. If the student gets an accomplished, which is a 3, the student shows good knowledge about voting patterns and how the two-party system works. Student provides correct information, very few spelling errors. The spreadsheet clip art is mostly clear and accurate. And to get exemplary, which is a 4, the student shows exceptional knowledge about voting patterns and how the two-party system works. Information is organized and well produced. No spelling errors. Spreadsheet and clip art is very clear and accurate and in order. I believe this learning theory would fall under constructivism. And the reason that I say that is because constructivism, once I find my note, the constructivist learning theory emphasizes the student's individual experiences and how learning plays an important role in the construction of meaning. This lesson plan is connected to constructivism, which also says that knowledge is constructed within interactions in the environment. So that is the learning theory. The technology use will be the computer labs. They will use the internet, textbook, pencil, paper, and they will have Microsoft Word and Excel available as well. And the graphic and informational design, I will stress that the fonts and the color scheme and the layout will be very, very important. I'll talk about how maybe the Verdana font might be nice to include, and that will be easy to read, especially on screen. And that is the Learning Theory Technology Use in Graphic Information Design. In the reflection, how has the course content influenced how I design instruction? I think, to me, as far as the learning theory and analysis and design and development, that was very interesting, and it hit on some things that I knew and some things that I didn't know. But the thing that I think I'll take out of this class more than anything is the graphic design, the PowerPoint, how we look for visual literacy, how we interpret visual messages. All of that was new to me, and I think it's opened up an entire new world as far as how I see layout and designs and webs and everything that's on the internet. I look at it differently now because of the graphic design lesson that we had. The word processing using styles definitely helped me as far as my skills, and that I had never used styles before. And the HTML also helped greatly. So as far as this class, when I reflect and look back, I think this class helped me a great deal towards getting my master's. I'm very appreciative. I thought, Dr. Weaver, you did a great job. We communicated well, and I'm very pleased with this class. And I hope you're pleased with my lesson that I have come up with. And I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later.